the American people stand firm in the faith which has inspired this nation from the beginning. We believe that all men have a right to equal justice under law and equal opportunity to share in the common good. We believe that all men have the right to freedom of thought and expression. We believe that all men are created equal because they are created in the image of God. From this faith, we will not be moved.
Hello and welcome to the Freedom of Thought podcast. I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Freedom of Thought is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps, and I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today, as we are going to, have another outside fire pit type episode once again, if possible. And we're going to delve into a frightening possibility for the Minneapolis mayor. Like, we've heard about how crazy and terrible a possible New York mayor is, the one who won the Democratic nomination for the city of New York, which is horrifying for us all. Communistic, crazy ideas that could absolutely destroy the very fabric of this country. But now it's hitting home. Omar Fateh is officially running for governor, and he is basically the same thing. 35 years of age, from Washington, D.C., apparently attended George Mason University. 35 years old, April 19th, 1990. My goodness, was born about 5 days after Chloe the cat. God rest her soul. Apologize if you're going to hear some noise in a minute if I have to dingle around with the fire, but it is what it is. Kind of comes with a business. Huge shout out to Donna Aspinwall, obviously a dear friend of mine, and got to see her today and get a nice stash of firewood, which is awesome, and burning a small teeny tiny portion of it with some of the Lunds and Byerly's piney stuff to kind of add to the flavor, you can say, to the fire. But my goodness, it smells good no matter what, it seems like. Even have an old piece of junk, it's not a piece of junk, but like an old beat up piece of apple wood as well, from my parents' house, where they had to cut up an apple tree a few months ago. So not the whole thing, but off of that topic, and to Omar Fateh, who is officially running for mayor of Minneapolis. Lord. Omar Mahmoud Fateh is an American politician, this is Wikipedia at the very least, and a member of the Minnesota Senate. So he's already in the state Senate. So yay, lucky us, right? Absolutely lucky us. We have U.S. Senator Ilhan Omar. Unbelievable that even can happen, but it's happened already. A member, of course, of the DFL, represents District 62. I'm going blind here. Stupid east wind always has a way of screwing everything up for me. My apologies. Oh, man. But that's about how I feel about this possible candidate for Minneapolis mayor. Includes parts of South Minneapolis and Hennepin County, so that's where that district is. Fateh is the first Somali American and Muslim to serve in the Minnesota Senate. So obviously Ilhan Omar was the first Somali Muslim to serve in the U.S. Senate. So we're hitting home with first this, first that, just like the first Somali Muslim mayor of St. Louis Park also. So we're on a roll here in Minnesota. And there's a reason why our flag looks kind of Somali-like, and why I'd like the flag brought back to what it should look like, the original flag, as that was just changed a few years ago under the gubernatorial of Tim frickin' Walz. We just love him so much here in Minnesota, don't we? So anyhow, we're going to continue to delve deeper into what he stands for and what he's all about. Well, one thing that's been brought up is that Omar Fateh is pushing for a $50 an hour, which is absolutely insane. A $50 an hour minimum wage, which I don't even know what planet somebody like that would be coming from. It makes no sense. $50 an hour. So, like the back in 2016, $15 an hour felt like a pretty good, like, yeah, you're doing okay. Like, it's not great. A lot of people will tell you, yeah, $15 an hour, that's, it's okay though. I mean, it's okay. Like, say if you're somebody that's either struggled or maybe you're getting kind of going, you've moved up a couple times in a factory or something, like $15 an hour in 2015, something like that, 2015, 16, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's a nice step forward. It's a nice upgrade. You go from like, level 1 to level 2, level 3, something like that, right? It's a nice jump. Now $15 an hour is basically like McDonald's, Burger King, which would have been like the equivalent of $7, $8 an hour or something just a few years ago. $50 an hour. I don't know. I mean, me personally, I've seen a rent in Brooklyn Park, a Brooklyn Park apartment at one time. I know Brooklyn Park and Golden Valley are different places, but it's not that much different. My rent in Brooklyn Park in 2015 was $700 a month. My rent here in Golden Valley in an apartment that I can't say is nicer. It's a nicer location, but the actual apartment is actually smaller. $1,300 a month. So I'm not sure where to go, what to think. Obviously, other than inflation is one of the worst, stupidest things you can do. And when you do that, it kind of helps contribute to that. It lowers the value of your dollars, lowers the value of what you do. It makes your job feel like nothing, like you're just screwing around, like you're basically just running in place. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of this stuff is just kind of just big mouth talk to get votes, and I'm sure that's a huge part of it. But at the same time, Bernie Sanders, well, he kind of meant it, didn't he? I mean, where are we today? Where are we today? Bernie Sanders and all these other people that supported him. Where are we today? Obviously, well, minimum wage is a heck of a lot higher than it was just less than 10 years ago. Minimum wage in Minnesota, or even I could say minimum wage, Minnesota is apparently $11.13, but I would think it's higher in Minneapolis. It is $15.97 in Minneapolis, almost $16 an hour. Less than 10 years ago, the thought of making $15 an hour was like, okay, again, like I was saying, a decent upgrade. Now, this is like the bottom of the bottom of the bottom. $15.97, so basically $16 an hour is your minimum wage in Minneapolis. So like this part, because obviously northern Minnesota, like International Falls and such, obviously no rip on them. Love you, International Falls, in case you're listening. Things cost less up there. And unfortunately, wages are less as well. And you want to say everything's all relative, but at the end of the day, the consumer always loses every single time. The consumer loses every single time that this happens when minimum wage goes up. Yeah, you're making a tiny bit more, but prices go up faster. That's the problem of the thought process of people that think this way. It needs to stop. And that's just one tiny aspect of what Omar Fateh really is. I mean, do I need to say, if Omar Fateh has points of view anything like Ilhan Omar, he hates this country. He's absolutely an enemy of this country. And unfortunately, I would have to say most people are at the end of the day. Omar Fateh, here's his webpage, a mayor who works as hard as we do. Express donate $10, $20, $50, and any other amount. Mayor Fry and the status quo are failing Minneapolis residents. Well, right now, if I had a choice between Mayor Fry and Omar Fateh, I'd be pumping the Fry bandwagon right now. We deserve a mayor who makes it so people want to continue to live here, raise families here, and start business here. Okay? A city that lifts up working people is a city that lifts up everyone. Okay, lifts them up by what? Raising the minimum wage to $50 an hour? Yeah, you're going to raise the rents to like God knows. I mean, what were we talking about? Me and my nephew were talking about, it'd be like $200 at McDonald's. Basically, a meal at McDonald's would be like $200. It's stupid. Like, I just watched a DuckTales episode last night called Duck to the Future, where it was like that, like riding the bus, $500, riding the bus was $500. So it's a combination of inflation and greed. It's a combination because companies can take advantage of that, and they will forever. Not to mention the thought that other companies, like smaller companies, not corporations, but smaller companies, will get choked out. Just like a nice little plant or a show like Freedom of Thought can get choked out by much larger shows, unfortunately. It can and does happen in this world many, many times. That's just the way the world is. The bigger companies will choke out the consumer and but suck the consumer in with addiction to their product one way or another, or an absolute necessity like living in a bleeping apartment because you can't afford to live in a house. Damn it. And or you just don't want to deal with the property tax and all the other crap that comes with owning a house, which is a combination of things here. They're like, hell with you. Too bad. Haha. You have to. Na boo boo. We got you. That's basically what it's like. So, on governing, serving in the Minnesota Senate, I've seen firsthand what a progressive legislature can do. Yeah, see, progressive. So he's one of those radical lefts. That's what it tells you. He's an activist. A progressive legislature can do with the right executive. As mayor, I will work with the progressive city council. Thank you very much. Gee, it takes two wings to fly. You son of a, that's the problem with this country right now. That's the problem with the state, not the country as much as the state itself. They think everything has to be left no matter what. You can't have two wings to fly. It takes two wings to fly. Every bird, every plane, every bug, every flying object has a right wing and a left wing. You know what I'm saying? It takes two wings to fly, you a-holes. That's me talking. Pardon my French. As mayor, I will work with the progressive city council to uplift those of us who are struggling to get by. By doing what? Just forcing people to give you money? That's pretty much what it is. Why I'm running for mayor of Minneapolis. My name is Omar Fateh. I am a state senator, husband, renter, son of Somali immigrants. Good for you. And a longtime advocate for working people. I'm running for mayor of Minneapolis to work with you to achieve the vibrant, loving city we know Minneapolis can be. Yeah, it's so vibrant and loving. Yeah, filled with crime and corruption and lies and activists everywhere. For working people, it's getting harder to build our lives in Minneapolis. Yeah, because of people like you, and with Donald Trump stepping back into the Oval Office. Gee, sorry we voted for him, but we did. Because we have every right to. Everything we've worked so hard to create is in jeopardy. It's not enough to stand up to Donald Trump. It's time to push back with forward-thinking leadership. Right. It's hilarious, some of this nonsense that they're saying. And it's kind of like, how do you really plan on going about doing that? Like, raising the minimum wage to $50, $20, $25. All you're really doing is raising the rent price as well. Do you understand how that works? Apparently they don't, because they're just complete morons and they continue to force this garbage. Mayor Fry and the status quo are failing Minneapolis residents. We deserve leadership that makes it so people want to continue to live here, raise families here, and start businesses here. Yeah, we need to vote on the other side. If such an other side could exist in Minneapolis, it'd be nice. How about two wings? How about it takes two wings to fly? Wouldn't that be nice? But if Mayor Fry is the only other choice, so be it. Of course, I can't vote for him because I'm not in Minneapolis. But boy, I'd be voting for him when you think about the alternative. Continuing from Omar Fateh, anyway. Minneapolis must be a North Star for our nation in a dark time. Yeah, it's dark, all right. And I don't mean demographics necessarily. I mean dark in terms of demonic politics, and politicians like this one. We can show the country what happens when we invest in people. Yeah, just forking over money to people that don't deserve it. Not corporate special interests. Yeah, just identity politics special interest, which is effing over so many people that actually work their butts off and earn promotions, instead watching people that don't deserve it moving up, right? You're the special interest. Block by block, we're already building the city we want to see. It's time we had a mayor willing to work alongside us. Yeah, right. Yeah, and in an activist protest, that's basically all you're good for. I'm committed to building a city that works for everyone. Except for people that don't vote Democrat, right? Serving in the Minneapolis Senate, I've seen firsthand what a progressive and legislature can do with the right executive. As mayor, I will work with the... Yeah, this is kind of repetition here. Jacob Fry ran for mayor 7 years ago with a promise to end homelessness but you really can't do that. It's impossible. By 2022, and more people are living without a home today as a result of his failed policies. Yeah, and Biden's failed policies, and people like you aren't going to make it better, Omar Fateh. I don't think so. Anyhow, it's been over 4 years since MPD officer Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd, and he still hasn't delivered on a vision for public safety. What exactly would you have him do? Anyhow, he vetoes every solution that comes to his desk. It's time for a mayor who has real solutions, that puts Minneapolis residents first. Yeah, what, by defunding the police? You scumbag. Anyhow, I've worked on a range of issues in the state senate that directly meet the needs of people in our communities. Funding free college... Oh, my God. Funding free college tuition for tens of thousands of Minnesotans. Yeah, one's in your demographic is more like it. Securing a statewide living and telling the others to screw off, right? Securing a statewide living wage for Uber and Lyft drivers. Investing $19 million for public safety in Minneapolis. Sure. What, by defunding the police? and yeah, that's about it. Saving the 2040 plan to make sure we are building more affordable housing and ensuring a cleaner environment for all of us via the 100% clean energy bill. Oh, God. Now I'm ready to bring that leadership to City Hall. Lord help us. This just keeps going and going, but it's scary stuff. Okay, we're almost there. It's not too far. We need a mayor who understands that a city that lifts up working people is a city that lifts up everyone. Yeah, people that work, not the bums. I think you're just lifting up the bums. Or the people that go to work but don't do anything. Because when the city invests in us, we have more time to invest in the people we love. From the streets to City Hall, Minneapolis is full of people who are ready to invest in long-term solutions that will bring security and stability to our communities. Yeah, I'm sure it really will. Minneapolis residents work hard for the city we love. We deserve a mayor that works as hard as we do. Sure, I'm sure you work so hard. Yep, you work so hard at lying and bullcrapping your way through everything. That's just pretty much what all it's ever been. Horrifying. And you realize do you realize the almost likelihood that this guy is going to win? It's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. A 35-year-old, I don't know, communist basically, who's no different than the one that's running in New York. Oh, Lord. Frightening. Absolutely frightening. Well, that's what we're looking at, folks. And all I can tell you is pray, and pray like you never have before. Pray like you never have before. If you truly do love where you live, so to speak, pray like you never have before, because we need it. We need prayer in this place more than we ever have, to say the least, because, my God, it's basically like all over if this guy wins. I'm not even kidding. Like Joe Souchere on Garage Logic, these people are all activists, every one of them. And you hear about progressive city council. Yeah, activist city council is probably the best way to put it. There's nothing good about progressives. Nothing good has come from them at all. Absolutely nothing good at all has come from progressives. And if you think that it has, I'd like to see a list of good things that have come from being progressive. I think it's taken this country back and further back. And it's not going to make this country or state better in any way, shape, or form at the end of the day. So, man, frightening stuff. Frightening stuff could be heading our direction here in the not-too-distant future. If you happen to be a Minneapolis resident and are listening to the show right now, you know where to go. I mean, you know where to vote. I mean, not for this guy. Definitely not. I think we're getting ourselves in big trouble. Don't think there's any comments on any of the social media for freedom of thought, unfortunately. I haven't really talked about it much. Sorry, I've been kind of invisible off and on. Facebook.com/freedom of thought 1776. There's a song from the 1950s that's called Get a Job. So that's perfect. That's what a lot of people need to do. I was saying play G9 for all the bums out there that refuse to work. Get a job. Yeah, that's what they need to do. Get a job. So that was kind of fun. That was at the 50s Grill in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. What's another one? Deport it, drill it, ditch it, drain it. Yep. Deport the illegal aliens, drill for oil, ditch the UN, and drain the swamp. Basically drain the swamp of Washington, D.C. and Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Minneapolis, Minnesota, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of draining to do, without a doubt. Also, again, what's the other... So we're also on YouTube, of course, which I'm very happy to have now, a YouTube page for freedom of thought. I had it up a second ago, and I apologize. I feel like I'm just kind of bouncing around here, and I apologize. So it is Freedom of Thought on YouTube, at Freedom of Thought 1776, all kind of together, at Freedom of Thought 1776 on YouTube. Please go there if you could, and subscribe to it. That would be greatly appreciated. Of course, it's free. If you do want to donate, there's a link in the show description to Give, Send, Go. That's all I need to say. If you want to, thank you. If you don't, totally understand. It's your choice. It's a free country, doggone it. Other thoughts, of course, obviously, well, not thoughts, but other things, other ways to reach. Of course, they're all in the show description. The Instagram page is in there as well. Excuse me, I'm getting choked here, as you may know. But Instagram, thought I had it up, and of course I didn't. Freedom _of _thought 1776. The Twitter account is Freedom of Thou, or at Freedom of Thou 76, I believe, right? So yes, really appreciate that one, and really appreciate all of you for being a part of this show. Please do interact with me if you could. It'd be greatly appreciated. Yeah, Freedom of Thou 76. I was correct. I was like, I think that's right. So, and of course, there is the show description as well. That'll take you there. Would love to hear from you. Don't be afraid to call in either, sending an audio submission. I know people have done it in the past. Gerald, I believe Mark has before. Would love to hear from either one of you guys at any time that you're able to do so. It'd be an absolute pleasure to hear from you. Basically, all you do is open your smart device. Every smart device has a voice recorder on it. Basically, simply open it up, press record, and then when you're done, you stop, and then share it / email it to paladinolive@yahoo.com. paladinolive@yahoo.com. Can't thank you enough in advance for doing that. I'd love to hear from you. It'd be an honor and a privilege, no doubt about it. With all of that said, thank you so much for listening. And let's make sure that we, those of you locally anyway, that, and in other parts of the country, there's people like this emerging. Don't let them in. Absolutely do your part, go out and vote, and make sure these people do not get in office. In Jesus' name, with that said. So, thank every one of you so much for listening. God bless you, and we will talk to you soon. God bless the United States of America.